Disclaimer. Please forgive me now for there may be mispronunciations in this video. Lake Lanier is a man-made lake built in 1956 for flood control, drinking water, and hydroelectric power, which touches 5 counties in North Georgia. It is the largest lake in Georgia, and its steepest point is about 200 feet. It is named after the 19th century Georgia poet Sidney Lanier. However, before the dam and lake, there used to be 700 families that inhabited these 60 square miles. In preparation for the lake, the U.S. government forced residents off the land that they had been on for generations. The Army Corps tried to relocate most of the structures, but if they couldn't obtain permission from the family members, graves would be left alone. Roads, bridges, and some trees were also left behind. It is also one of the deadliest lakes in Georgia. Since its formation, about 500 people have died there. Nearly 200 since 1944. There also have been 27 bodies that were never recovered. Drownings and boating accidents are the usual culprits. An explanation given to why it's so dangerous is from the debris and rubble from before the lake's construction, along with the lake's low visibility makes it dangerous. There is another theory for all the deaths, and that is that the lake is haunted. Some speculate that it's the spirits from the graves that the corpse of engineers never relocated in 1956, and others say it's the spirits of the 27 victims whose bodies were never successfully recovered after they went missing. There is a ghost story, which is known as the Lady of the Lake. In 1958, 2 friends, Delia Mae Parker Young and Susie Roberts, left a dance. After getting gas and skipping out paying for it, they skidded off the bridge while crossing the lake and disappeared. The following year, a fisherman came across a decomposed, unidentified body floating near one of the bridges. She was missing both hands and 2 toes. She was wearing a blue dress. In 1990, officials discovered a 1950s Ford sedan with remains belonging to Roberts, which could mean that the body found way back in 1959 must have belonged to her friend Parker Young. They didn't need forensic analysis to figure this out, because the locals remember seeing Parker Young wearing the dress she had borrowed that night from Roberts, wandering near the bridge. It is now said that with her handless arms, she snatches unsuspecting swimmers and visitors and drags them to the bottom. There is another ghost named Agnes. Some reports say she was a university student who hung herself. Others say she was hanging out at the lake with friends when she drowned, but that is all that is known about her. But that's not all the paranormal occurrences on the lake. There is an account of 2 fishermen that saw a ghostly raft while out on the lake fishing one cold autumn night at around 1 a.m. The mysterious raft with a lantern on a pole was around half a mile away and in an estimated 45 feet of water, yet the rider was pushing it along with a pole. At one point, the figure shouted something to the 2 fishermen and jumped off the raft into the freezing water to swim towards them. Alarmed, the 2 fishermen pulled in their lines and hurried to get out of there. Suddenly, the lantern of the raft went out. When the fishermen shone their boat's spotlight across the water, they could find no sign of the raft or the mysterious rider. There is a history below Lake Lanier of the town that partly occupied the location of the lake, called Oscarville. Oscarville was mostly an African-American community and was the site of a 1912 racial conflict which resulted in the displacement of all 1,100 black people from the county, rendering Oscarville a ghost town. This was the result after the raping of 2 white women, one that was fatally beaten. In September 1912, one of the women was found in the woods. She was beaten and unconscious. The woman was 18-year-old Sleety Mae Crow. The girl later died of her injuries. Rob Edwards, a local black man, was unlawfully seized and hung. 2 more people were accused for this unresolved crime. 16-year-old Ernest Knox, who the girl accused on her deathbed, and Oscar Daniel. The 2 boys were put on trial and found guilty and were hung. Earlier that week, another white woman was assaulted by 2 black men. Her name was Ellen Greesh. She accused 2 black men, Tony Howell and Isaiah Perkle. Tony Howell confessed to assaulting and raping Ellen Greesh, and also implicated Perkle as an accomplice. Howell was tried by an all-white jury and convicted in February 1913. That's not the only history of Lake Lanier. In the 1830s, the white population forcibly removed the Cherokee farmers from their properties. Often these farmers were driven out by gunpoint and forced the Cherokees from Oscarville forever. Who do you think haunts the lake? Did you like this video? Want to support this channel? Feel free to check out my Patreon page where I create content on cryptids, hauntings, alien abductions, serial killers, and much more. Can't support me there? Like, comment, and subscribe here.